Welcome to the Cheap Guitar Channel. Just a poor man playing poor stuff poorly. Thanks for being here, and hopefully you can make an informed decision with your friends here at Cheap Guitar Channel. Like and subscribe if you want to. And now, here's me to hopefully help you make an informed decision with the Cheap Guitar Channel. Hey guys, welcome back into the Cheap Guitar Channel. I'm Cody. Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe if you want to. A little bit different video again today because Christmas is just a couple days away. And I have needed a power supply for this little pedal board. I ordered this little pedal board during the lockdowns from Amazon. I think I paid 15 bucks for it. It's cheap, really cheap. You can see where it's put together right here. It's actually like they took two little pedal boards and stuck them together to make this not real big pedal board. But yeah, it's like 15 bucks. And it is cheap. It's obviously not high quality, but I only had, I think, 2 pedals, maybe 3 pedals at the time, so I didn't need a big pedal board. And at that time, this one was actually about half the price as the little one that only held like 3 pedals or 4 pedals. So anyway, I ordered this one during the lockdown. It came in, it served its purpose. As you can see, I didn't know what I was doing. I put the fuzzy Velcro right here and then the tight Velcro on the bottom. Yeah, I had no clue. Because I are smart like that. So anyway, but it worked great. And then I expanded to a much bigger pedal board. And a lot of people have asked about cheap pedals. Cheap pedals. I have a lot of them. Matter of fact, I have an entire, this pedal board is nothing but Behringer pedals. And Behringer pedals are now 25 bucks a piece, give or take. I didn't pay more than 20 bucks for any of these pedals, and a couple of them I got used for, like, I think one I paid $8 for, and another one I paid $11 for. So I got them used, and they were dirt cheap. So I needed a power supply for this. I've been using the one spot. Turn it over so you can see it. And it works fine. It actually works really good for cheap pedals, but I wanted a power supply for this particular pedal board, and I didn't want to break the bank. And lo and behold, this came up on Amazon. Big time on sale. And this is a tiny little power supply unit. But something I wanted to show you right away. Cheap power supply unit, cheap pedal board. And wouldn't you know it, pedal board has the opening in the front. This little guy fits perfect. Right inside there. Hopefully you can get a look at that. That's how that little guy fits in there. So a little bit of Velcro. Oh, yeah. You're not going to be able to see it from the top side of the board. So I bought this pedal supply for this pedal board. It came in this box. Has the manual. Manual in Espanol. Yeah, so in English and Spanish. Then this was the box, the little box that the power supply actually came in. I mean, not the power supply, but the actual unit came in. Then there's 2 more boxes inside the box. It has all the connecting cables. The other box, I save all my boxes in case something doesn't work. I have to send it back. My wife doesn't send anything back. If she buys it, it's ours forever. So the third box inside the box, put that over here. This has the actual wall wart adapter, and it has two really cool adapters. One is a polarity reverser, and the other one is like for the old DoD pedals that had the input like this. This is pretty smart thinking of the guys on Kaleen. I think that's how you say it, is Kaleen. So I'm going to have to go get some Velcro so I can Velcro this little guy underneath the pedal board up here. And then I'm going to put it together. And I'm going to show you all the pedals that are going on this pedal board and how I wire it together. And we will call this the cheapest pedal board on Amazon. A couple more things. Because I am the king of organization and I'm good at knowing where everything is, I have no fuzzy-sided Velcro left. I used all of it on the big pedal board. So I have plenty of the tight Velcro, none of the fuzzy Velcro left, which means we have to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to take the power supply and just not mount it yet. But I've run into another issue because people online were saying the power cables that run from the unit to the actual pedals aren't very long. So it's possible I may have sort of dodged a bullet by not mounting this on the front part of the pedal board. I may end up having to mount it in the middle of the board. If I can mount it in the middle of the board, have to be something along those lines, or maybe back here along these lines. I may have to do something like that. I'll show you if I can show you this. Because the pedal, it should work perfectly this way. All things being equal, it should work perfectly this way for the cables to come out and get to the pedals. If not, I may have to mount it either somewhere like here or possibly back here. If the power cables from the unit that go to the pedals are not long enough. But we will see here shortly. We will take one power cable. I'm not sure who said the power cables weren't long enough, but this power cable is twice as deep as the board and probably twice as wide. I don't think we're going to have an issue with the power cables. So I'm about to start putting the pedals on the board and hook the power cable up, the power supply up, and let's just see if we can't get this thing up and running. So I guess the first thing is to take the power supply and the wall wart. It's definitely not a very long supply cable. I'm going to say that's about 3 feet, probably, maybe 3 feet. So to the input here, it's a tight connection. So if this were going to be on the front, yeah, there's plenty of room there for that connection. My question though is I don't have a bag for this board. But if you did, I guess you could put your pedals in this way so that with the handle, this would be facing up while you're transporting it. But as you can see, there's plenty of room there for the power supply to get to it. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to see is here. There is way more than enough. I don't know if someone got faulty power cables with their unit or the wrong ones. That power supply cable is 10 times longer than it needs to be for a pedal board this size. My big pedal board, even then, I don't see this being an issue with there being an issue with the length of these supply line cables. If I hadn't said it before, it will power up to 10 devices, has a high current 500 milliamp, a DC 12 volt output, 100 milliamp, and a DC 18 volt output, 100 milliamp. 18 volts and 100 milliamps, I'm not sure which pedal that's for. I know there's some that are out there, but I have 8 pedals on this board, so this power supply should be perfect for this size of cheap pedal board. And this is indeed a cheap pedal board. So we will continue with the process of putting this board together. Now, I'm sure I am going to get a lot of grief for the order in which I put the pedals on the board. There is a right way and a wrong way for pedal order. Frank Zappa would tell you that's crazy. There's no right or wrong way. You'll see how I put them on the pedal board. You're more than welcome to leave a comment below, especially for any real guitar players, to tell me that I'm crazy. That's not how you put your pedals on your board. This is how you do it. So however you do it, cool. This is how I'm putting my pedals on the board. I start with my compressor. Guess I should have unwound all of these at the same time. My graphic equalizer will go next on my pedal board. I'm also using these flat interconnect Donner cables. Again, very cheap. See, I'm already messing up because the first thing that goes on my pedal board is my tuner. My tuner, dum-dum. Already messing up right off the bat. But I am good like that. The second thing that goes on my pedal board, just on this pedal board, my acoustic modeler. I don't need any EQ or really compression or anything else. I just like a dry signal going into the acoustic modeler. Normally when I'm using this pedal, I'm not using any other pedal except maybe a chorus and a delay. So my Behringer acoustic modeler AM300 goes next in my effects chain. Okay, so when I get my good Velcro and can put it down and Velcro my power supply under here, I will show you what that is going to end up looking like. From my basically Behringer tube screamer, I go into the tube amp modeler. If I was using my Joyo preamp, it would go right here. The tube amp modeler is going here. This is my Behringer pedal board. This is the cheapest pedal board pretty much money can buy. You can get some of those cheaper Amazon pedals that I did, like I did that review of that AODSK digital delay. It's like $10. So you could build a pedal board like that. If you built it out of $10 pedals, you'd be in for less than $100. That's not bad. $100 for a pedal board? It's probably not going to sound very good. But who cares if you're having fun, right? And then after my chorus, my vintage delay will be the last thing on my board. Boy, I've got friends right now that are going, "What are you doing? You know better than that." No, I don't, guys. I really don't. Been trying to tell y'all for years I don't know what I'm doing. Everybody keeps saying, "Yeah, you do, man. You're really good. You're really good." No, I'm not. I'm terrible. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to be lucky if I hook this pedal board up and someone don't get killed. They did. All right, we're almost there. And we are going to see what this power supply will do. I think it's all right. If it blows up my delay, then I'm out $10. We'll deal with it then. Now I have a mess of all this. I always wonder, what do you do with all this stuff that's left over? With the supply, doesn't weigh much of anything. Okay, let's see about plugging this guy up. Oh, it says it has these LEDs on it too. I'm kind of interested to see about those. This wall wart cable that comes with it already is a little problem. It's already too short. But we will make it work. Show you something else about this. It's almost identical in size to the one spot. They're definitely not the same. Aha! It seems as though we have power. Okay, so I had to move my power supply up here to get it close enough to the pedal board because the power supply for the actual saline unit isn't long enough. But look at this. Boom! You'll see that? It's got all these LEDs for the power supply unit. And you can turn them off. But if you're on a dark stage, I can see where that would help a little bit. And they say they go out if one of your outlets is out, so you know your pedal's not good. All the pedals have power. So we will hook it up to the Fender, and I think we're going to use the Donner guitar that I'm about to upgrade. I haven't done anything to it yet, so if you get a new pedal board and a new guitar for Christmas, see how it sounds with a new pedal supply, why not? Let's check it out. Kaleen or Saline power supply. I'm not sure how they say that. It does have the really cool LED lights that come on, but I have it hooked up to my ultra cheap lockdown pedal board. I have it run over to my Fender Champion amp. Two things real quick. It is every bit as quiet as the One Spot. This is the Kaleen. This is the One Spot. I've been running all of this off the One Spot. Haven't had any real issues with noise. This TM300 will make some noise. Right now, everything is up and it is on. The amp is on. That's where it's at volume-wise. And everything is hooked up. So the noise you're hearing right now is the noise that it's making with all the pedals off. Everything run through the chain and into the amp. That's with the guitar on. Tuner. Obviously quiet. Kills the pedal board. This is the acoustic modeler. The sustainer. The EQ. Vintage tube overdrive. The noisiest pedal I own. You can hear that difference? Maybe. It's a tube amp modeler, the chorus. Let's try this. How about the chorus, the acoustic modeler, a little EQ, and a little delay. There's a sustainer on it. overall, what can I say about the saline power supply? It's worth it. It was less than 20 bucks on Amazon. You can find them on eBay and other places. And there's about 100 manufacturers. They all look like they're about the same thing. They just have different printing and stuff on them. But to power this little miniature pedal board, admittedly, there's not a lot of interference in this room. We don't have great electricity where I live, so a lot of times stuff, it sounds a little noisier than it probably should otherwise, or probably would at your house, but this thing isn't adding any noise that I'm hearing. Behringer pedals obviously aren't top of the heap. They're not bosses. They're about 25 bucks a piece now, plus less than $20 for the power supply, less than $20 for the board, less than $100 for a pedal. Now, obviously, the amp is shooting that way, so it wasn't. I didn't do this to give you a tone idea of the pedals or anything. I've reviewed a couple of these. I'll review the rest of them at some point. But really, this was just about this Kaolin power supply. It's available now. By the way, it came in 2 days, something like that. Ordered a bunch of other stuff with it, but I had some points and blah, blah, blah. And needed to complete the order. Thought, why not add another 15 bucks to it for a power supply that I actually could use and do a review of it and see what we think. And I just need to order Velcro. So hopefully this helped you make an informed decision about whether or not you want to buy the Kaolin Power CP05. But I would say for 20 bucks, it's a winner. Until the next time, I'm Cody. Make good decisions. Have yourselves a great one. See ya. Be cool. Bye.
Thanks again for hanging out with us on the Cheap Guitar Channel.
Like and subscribe if you want.
And be sure to join us next time for a poor man playing poor stuff poorly. For all of me here at Cheap Guitar Channel, have a good one, and I'll talk to you next time.